For now, I have to get up since my train leaves at 5. Then he glanced at the alarm clock that kept ticking on top of his chest. Good God, he thought. It was 6:30, and the clock arrows were quietly moving on. It was, in fact, 7:15. Has the alarm clock not gone off? From his bed he could see that it was correctly set off to go at 4 o'clock, and it undoubtedly did. Yet how could he have slept through this earth-shattering sound? Well, his sleep was troublesome, though apparently rather tight. What was he to do now? The next train leaves at 7 o'clock. To arrive there in time, he should desperately hurry, but his assortment of samplings is not yet put together, and he does not feel lively and energized. Besides, even in case he does arrive at the train station in time, there's no way for him to escape a scolding from the director, because the messenger was on duty by the 5 o'clock train and made a report regarding Gregor's lateness long ago. The messenger, a person possessing neither stamina nor wits, was the director's pet. What if Gregor pretends to be sick? Yet it would appear highly unpleasant and improbable as well, since in the course of the 5 years of his service as a salesman, he has never been sick. The director, of course, would have brought over a doctor and scolded Gregor's parents for raising such an indolent son, and would have rejected any objections referring to the aforementioned doctor, according to whom any person on earth is perfectly healthy and is merely refusing to work. And would he not be right in that case? Aside from the drowsiness, which was strange to experience after such a long sleep, Gregor actually felt great, and even found himself in a ravenous appetite. While he was hastily thinking it over, still unwilling to leave his bed, the alarm clock has just announced it was 7:15. Someone cautiously knocked on the door above his head. "Gregor," he heard, this was his mother, "it is already 7:15. Weren't you going to leave?" This tender voice. Gregor felt scared upon hearing the horrifying response produced by his own, which was undoubtedly still his former voice, was now mixed with a suppressed yet stubborn squeaking that only made words sound clear for a brief moment, after which it distorted them to such a point when one would have to question whether he misheard everything. Gregor wished to elaborate and explain everything in detail, yet, due to such circumstances, all he could say was, Yes, thank you, Mother, I am about to get up." Because of a thick wooden door, the change in his voice has apparently remained unnoticed outside, as, calmed by his words, his mother walked away. Yet this short interaction drew the other family members' attention to the fact that Gregor, despite all expectations, was still at home, and his father was already knocking, slightly but with a fist, on his door. "Gregor, Gregor!" he screamed. "What is the matter?" After a moment he called once again, this time lowering his voice. "Gregor, Gregor!" Behind another door his sister spoke quietly and sympathetically. "Gregor, are you not feeling well? Do you need help with anything?" Responding to all of them at once by uttering, "I am ready," Gregor tried to deprive his voice of any irregularity with long pauses and a clear pronunciation. His father would have returned to his breakfast if it was not for his sister, who continued to whisper, "Gregor, I'm begging you, open the door." Yet Gregor was not even considering opening it, feeling blissfully grateful for his habit of thoughtfully locking all doors for the night. At first he wanted to get up calmly and without any interference, and then he could worry about the rest, since he, it has now become clear to him, will not reach any grand conclusion lying in bed. He remembered that sometimes while he was lying in bed, he felt a slight pain which was probably caused by sleeping in an uncomfortable position, and as soon as he got up, it appeared that the pain was a mere product of his imagination. He thus wondered how today's trouble would resolve itself. He had no doubt that the change in his voice was just a precursor of a disease common to all salesmen, the harsh cold. Getting rid of the blanket turned out to be quite an easy task. It was enough to inflate his stomach to make it fall by himself. Yet the situation got worse after that, mostly because Gregor was too wide now. He needed hands to get up, but everything he had instead of them was a multitude of legs, which kept moving chaotically and were impossible to cope with.